I'm excited to chat with you because I'm really excited you guys have some new music out. I'm been waiting. So you have the latest single Foundations out now. Were you guys talking about making music again, or had you guys been collaborating on music in the while you were having some downtime? I know you and I talked a little bit off camera that you guys were doing coffee for a bit, but also music sort of at the same time during the pandemic. What made now the perfect time, I should say, then to release Foundations?
Well, we really feel that the world's kind of weird right now, and a lot of people are pressuring bands to really pump out songs really fast. And due to the fact that as an upcoming band, um, you really release singles. You don't really release an album anymore because if you release your album pretty much in 2 weeks, if nobody knows who you are, nobody cares anymore, right? So the only way for a new band to really grow their audience is to kind of release singles and release a single every month or two, and that way you can kind of keep the attention span and you can keep the momentum. The band was on hold kind of for a year because our guitar player was having some visa issues, unfortunately, and it was something that was we tried and we tried and we got lawyers, and because once again because the world is so weird right now, um, they wouldn't let him in the country. And it was completely something that was just out of our control. And so we really didn't know how to move forward until, hey, we have to get another guitar player that's going to be able to play and tour. And we have that guy, Mr. Dean in Los Angeles, California, is now with us and is filling those shoes, and he's doing an amazing job. And he's a shredder and just an all around. I've never seen him in a bad mood. It's kind of crazy. He's one of those guys where he walks in the room and he's like, hey, love, because he's also from the UK. He gives everybody a hug and he just makes everybody feel he's like punk rock Captain Jack Sparrow, uh, goth, and he comes in and he just makes everybody feel like $1 million. And I really truly feel that he's been a huge blessing and an asset for this band to really have that sort of like, hey, things can be going south, and Dean's going to be like, we're fine, we'll figure it out, don't worry about it. And it's like that's huge, man. You need guys like that in your camp. So that was kind of the reason why we didn't release any more songs. And then we decided to, and Foundations is the title track of the group of songs we did 11 songs, and Foundations is kind of the it's kind of the fight anthem. If you listen to the words, I've been beaten, I've been broken, I've been pushed so long, it feels like I'm choking, and I feel like, man, that's so relatable right now with everything going on in the world where everybody feels so squeezed. And when you're in that position, really the only thing you can do two things. You can either shut down, or you can take those things and you can learn from them and let them build you up. So you build your foundations. And so that's kind of what that song is about. My favorite part of that song is actually the breakdown. And if you listen, there's some kids that are singing with me, and that's actually my daughter.
I was going to ask you about that. I was going to say,
Yeah.
was the chorus something you had in mind initially to bring her on, or maybe you thought about a kids choir?
So originally I wanted a kids choir, and I was like, man, that would be epic because it gets back to like you know Pink Floyd, Brick in the Wall, or all these different people that have had kids choirs in their music. And I was like, man, how do I get 20 kids to sing this for me? How do I get 20 kids' parents to sign waivers for me? And it just kind of became this overwhelming logistical nightmare. I was like, dude, I don't know how I'm going to figure this out. Like, this is kind of like, I couldn't figure out how to find a sample to do it or some sort of crazy synth or something. But I had this little 6-year-old next to me who was, listening to me track this song in my studio every day. And then all of a sudden she came in the room and she started singing it. And I said, wait a second, hang on a second. Here, hold this microphone. There you go. Do that again. And then she did it again and she did it again. And I must have tracked her like 30 times. And because kids naturally have these, imperfect inflections in their voice when they sing, but it just gave this beautiful, it was exactly what I was looking for. And it was really special to me. And it's something that I'll always be able to hold near and dear to my heart, you know, and I think it couldn't have happened any other way but that way. And I'm really happy about it. So this little last little run we did on tour when we played in Austin, she actually got on stage with me and sang with me. And let me tell you something. You can think you're like the most awesome thing in the room until a 9-year-old gets up there and sings, and then everybody's like, yeah, 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 whatever, bro. Thanks for being little Eva Moon's backup band, which is pretty much what happened. And man, I love kids, man. Like when I don't do music, I teach kids jujitsu. So I work with kids multiple times. In 2 hours. I have to go teach like 35 kids how to do martial arts, and anywhere from 5 to 13. And it's something I take a lot of pride in because I feel like it's a way as an adult to really kind of shape the future. I don't really have a lot of control over what adults do, or the crazy world we live in, but I know that if I can help a kid figure something out, that that's the best chance to change the world.
Well, if Unveil the Strength doesn't work out for you, you always have a job doing kids music, kids version of metal music, kids bop metal.
Kids
You ever
pop.
thought
That's what I need. I need some kids pop, man. I mean, why not? You know, I mean, look, Baby Shark was a huge thing. All right, name one person that doesn't know Baby Shark. Everyone knows Baby Shark.
Well, I think that all of the tracks on Foundations are super special. Is there one, obviously, Foundations, because it has your daughter's voice on it.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe is
yeah.
there another single that challenged you the most creatively as a band, or maybe was a little emotionally more challenging for you as well?
So that song hasn't been released yet, and that song is called "Never Said Goodbye." And I don't know if somebody's ever sent you that song or you've heard it. Uh, really, really emotional for me. Uh, it sorry. It really has to do with losing somebody you love suddenly.
Take a minute and take a breath. I
And
lost I lost my boyfriend a year ago unexpectedly.
yeah,
Just
and
one day he was here and one day he
those
wasn't.
sort of yeah. I mean, it's a real thing, and sometimes in life we don't get to say goodbye, and everybody likes to think, you know, that if they die, they have some grand sort of like, you know, speech at the end where everyone's going to come see him and you get to say all your piece with everyone. And let me tell you something, if you get that, you're truly blessed. You're truly a blessed person to get that opportunity. um I think that most of the time it's unexpected, and it's actually something I experienced myself. September 16th 2 years ago, I actually died twice. Yeah. So yeah, there's definitely everything that I write about. It's pretty authentic. It's pretty real. It's things that have happened to me or I've experienced. Um, if you feel the emotion in my voice, it's because it's real. And I think to some degree, you know, in metal and in music in general, anytime you can get that across to anybody, I just consider that a win, whether it's pop or hip hop or rap or whatever. But when you feel it, I just think it's so powerful. And that's my biggest concern whenever I write or perform a song is, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I want to know that somebody felt it. I want them to know that they felt that emotion, that expression, and that they can relate to it. Because I think at the end of the day, every time I think of the best songs I've ever heard, they really take me back to a memory of something, whether it was bad or good. But it's still just a really it's a memory. And I think that's important because usually memories are reminders of a part of ourselves, right? Of who we are fundamentally as people. And I think that's so important to constantly reflect on who we really are and who we want to be. So, Never Said Goodbye is the name of that song. Uh, Sorry, I really wasn't expecting to get this emotional today with you, but
It's okay.
at least you're talking to a real person. I'm not going to
You're not
give you
AI
some
generated.
yeah, I'm not going to give you some fake version of me. I'm always going to try to be authentic as I can be, whether that's being vulnerable or not. I think there's too many people that aren't vulnerable with themselves, and I challenge those people to be more vulnerable. I challenge them to look inward and let people see sides of them, to let them know they're human. I really do. I think it's really lacking, and it's a big problem in today's society. Um, the other thing that I do besides jujitsu is I actually work for a nonprofit. It's called Heroic Path to Light, and we treat combat veterans, first responders, and Gold Star and White Star families for PTSD, traumatic brain injuries, and it's really suicide prevention is the core battle that we're in. And I was a combat veteran, and I was homeless for 2.5 years, and I had suicidal ideations. And yeah, I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot of stuff. I've like I said, everything I talk about and I sing about, it's because I've been there. It's not because I'm fantasizing about it or telling you what I think it's like to be that way. It's like, no, I have experienced a lot of um, unfortunate things in my life, but at the same time, I don't think I would have it any other way. I think it shaped me to be the person I am, and I have no regrets. And those experiences were supposed to happen to me for a reason.
Well, I appreciate, of course, your bravery and your service to our country. And actually, I'm friends with one of the guys who's on the TV show Mayans Motor Club, and he works with a jean company to provide clothing to people who are veterans who have lost limbs. So,
Oh, wow. That's
if
great.
if ever you need a partner, if ever you need somebody to work with, someone you've come across during your work with this organization, don't ever hesitate to reach out to me. I'm happy to connect the two of you if you need anything as well.
Is his name by chance Vinny Vargas?
No, but his name is I think it's Luck if I remember. But yeah, oh, you mean the actor? No, no, no. It's Frankie Loyal.
Okay. Okay.
Trinidad is
Gotcha.
the name of the guy who does the jeans.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
We'll get to
Nice. Nice.
the lyrics you write are so heartfelt and very sometimes uplifting, sometimes very um deep as well, of course. What's the process that you have for your songwriting? Do the lyrics find you and then you guys work out the music to coincide with them, or do you guys work out a beat and you go, okay, I've been fiddling with this song for a bit, let's see if we can come up with some lyrics to go alongside with?
Gosh, I'm so glad you asked me all the easy questions. um, I don't know if there's necessarily a formula that I have. I mean, I have 124 voice recordings on my phone right now that I have to go through and try to figure out what I was trying to do or what emotion I was trying to convey that day when I sang it into my phone. And then it's a combination of sometimes I'll get sent a song and I'll go, wow, boom, and I'll feel it and it'll just click and it'll just happen. And then sometimes I'll get something and I have to sit on it and really think about it. Um, I think the biggest thing I do when I try to write a song is I really try to find the melody and I mean I don't necessarily want to say the hook. It's metal. Everyone's like, bro, it's metal. We're not supposed to have hooks, but at the end of the day, everybody wants to hear something familiar. Even in Slipknot, everybody sings the hook when Corey goes to the hook. I mean, it is what it is. You can fight it all you want with your ego. That's not my problem. So I just like to find the catchiest parts and really emphasize those and then build around it. And then at the same time, usually when I'm singing the chorus, it's I have a theme in mind about what I want the song to be about, and then I'll build it and I'll kind of go from there. So if I had to say something that's true no matter what, is whether is it always starts with the main idea, I guess you could say, the main chorus of what it is and what I want it to be, and then just build it out from there, pretty much.
How much of a hand then does the band have when it comes to the production side of the music you all make?
um, Everyone records their own parts, and I have a team of guys in Sweden that I know that I've worked with since the beginning of this, and they will bounce ideas off of us and we will bounce ideas off of them. They will throw song ideas at us every once in a while and go from there. I don't really have any hard rules with songwriting or anything like that. I look at it like, hey, look, if you've got a great song and you want to put it in the mix, like, let's check it out. I mean, it's interesting because so many bands in every other genre legitimately have songwriters, even in this genre. Like, look at the Churkos. The Churkos are writing for what, Five Finger Death Punch. They're writing for uh In This Moment. Like, they write songs for probably 5 out of the top 10 Sirius XM bands we listen to. Nobody bats an eye. They just go, oh, I didn't know that. Or they go, oh, because but and I'm certainly not picking on the Churkos. I love them. They have great production. They're great songwriters, and I'm not picking on any of those bands either. Like, it is what it is. But I think the idea that everyone should write every single thing they do and do this and do that, and it's like, I don't know. I think it's kind of a team effort, and it takes a team effort to really make great music. To really keep it objective, it's easy to I see a lot of guys where you have the one guy in the band and he writes and does everything. And man, I applaud you. Whoever that guy is, I applaud you. I personally don't enjoy making music that way. I actually don't like it at all. I won't do it. Like, there's a song on this record that I wrote, and it hasn't been released yet. And I'm kind of like a real artist. Like, I hate my own music. I don't like listening to it. And everyone's like, "Oh, I can't wait till we release this track," and I'm all, "Yeah, I can wait." And like, I don't want to know, I don't, So because I wrote it and I don't, I'm sick of it already, right? So, and I'm sure I'm not the first person to say that, but at the end of the day, there's really no rules. I try not to have any hard rules with anything. If there's a song that comes our way from somebody and they're like, "Bro, check this out. What do you think?" I'm open to it. Yeah.
But I know that Rob Kukla and of course Henrik Oud really gave you guys a boost when it came to the production. Do you trust their work, or do you tend to lend a hand as sort of like, okay, that's great, but here's also what I was thinking to tweak it here? Or, do they be like, do they know Unveil the Strength by now and they're like, okay, this might be a little bit better for what your intentions were?
So Rob Kukla is amazing. He's in Gothenburg, Sweden, and he's absolutely crushing it right now with a bunch of bands. He's doing really well. And Rob is really good at looking at a song and going, because a lot of production comes from songwriting, right? Like, if you have a song that's too busy and you have too many things going on, it's really hard to make it sound like this huge over the top production. And if you have the busier you make it, the thinner the mix tends to get because you're trying to fit all these little things in it. And let me tell you something. We have a lot of stuff going on in our songs. We have a lot of layers going on, and I am absolutely blown away that Rob and Henrik Oud made all this stuff fit. Like, when I track the vocals, there's like 8 to 12 stacked vocals in there. Like, I kind of went little bit of probably a little bit overboard with it, but it's kind of what I do. I overdo things. If you ask me to build something, I'm going to overbuild it. If you ask me to do this, I'm going to overdo it because it's kind of it sounds really stupid, but it's kind of like this military mentality that I have that's just kind of never left me. It's not a bad thing, but it's just what I do. Um, and so Henrik Oud, I mean, man, that guy has mixed some really, really big bands. Architects, uh, In Flames. I think he's done an Amon Amarth. I don't know if he's done an Amon Amarth record, but he's done some really, really big records, and he just crushed it. Like it was great. I mean, we went back and forth a little bit, and just like everything else, you know, we went into. I sat in my car and I listened to it, and then you sit in your car, you roll down your windows, and you go 80, and you're like, how does it sound when I'm going fast? Like I know that sounds stupid, but when I listen to metal, I listen to it with my windows down, and I'm probably doing 10 miles an hour over the speed limit. So what does it sound like? And we kind of went back and forth, and I was like, this is a little loud, this is a little low, and we kind of did that for like a week or two, and then we landed where we landed, and I think he did an amazing, stellar job. I hope to work with him again one day. I'm actually working with Rob right now on the next set of music, and we have about 5 songs that are roughed out, and we're going to do another 10 songs with Rob and get those ironed out. And I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
What do you hope lingers then with people who explore foundations as a whole? Is there an overall message or an emotion you'd like to stay with people who explore this particular group of songs?
I mean, this particular group of songs was really just about. I want to say that if I could pick one word, it'd be just overcoming, like overcoming obstacles in your life, and trying to be a better version of yourself. Right. I mean, and that's kind of what starts. That's the foundation of what we should all try to achieve. You know, um, you can be perfectly miserable or imperfectly happy in your life, right? And I think that the idea of being a perfectionist is a hard road, but we can all take and learn from the things that happen to us and try to just be the best version of us that we can be. And believe it or not, that is good enough. That is good enough. And a lot of people don't get told that enough, that they're good enough. Like, hey, you're good enough, man. You don't have to have 0.02% uh, uh, body fat to be an amazing person. You don't have to have a 9 second 100-yard dash or whatever to be the best. Like people are so hard on themselves. They never accept and love themselves for who they are. And I really hope that people understand that is something we should all strive to do. We should all love ourselves for who we are and accept ourselves, and just try to make the world a better place.
Amen.
Yeah. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. My name's Mark Wolf.
I'll be here all
Yeah.
week.
Right. I'll be here all week. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and the things that I'm talking about now, these are the same conversations that are had at the nonprofit. I mean, I'm working with special operations guys and firefighters and law enforcement people, and these are people they really can't go through the system and get the help they need. So they have to go do something that's a little bit off the books and try to get some mental help, because these guys are coming up on terrible, horrific things every single day. These are the people that are the first people on the scene in a horrific car accident, or a terrible, or a suicide, or any sort of tragedy. These people see it day in and day out, and I think most of society doesn't understand the mental toll that it takes. And these guys they have zero outlet. Like they can't. They say one word to anyone, they're on a desk job and their career's over. It's rough.
Well, as I said, I'm grateful for the wonderful work you do with them, and I know you guys also, I should say, had a coffee out while you were busy during well, not so busy, I should say, during the pandemic. Are there plans to expand the line, do some more coffee exploration, um, or is this just like was that just a wonderful partnership you did to take up some time for the band and get you guys active while you were during the pandemic?
Yeah. So the pandemic was super weird. We really didn't know what to do. So we decided to make coffee. and we decided to make some coffee named after our songs. So, we have two coffees that still have not been released, and one is going to be War Inside Us All, and the other one's going to be Unstoppable Blend. And I love coffee. All right, I'm a big coffee fan. Like, it's just who I am. I'm not going to apologize if you drink tea. I'll try not to hold it against you. I like tea too. I just like it with ice. All right. Um, but yeah, we have two more coffees we're going to release. We're probably going to have those available when we tour for purchase. And that way, it's something that's kind of boutique, and it's something that's kind of something you have to get if you come see us. And on every single coffee package, we actually have a barcode that you can scan, and it'll take you directly to our music.
That's great. That's a wonderful idea. And I
Yeah.
think it's a great partnership. So we'll stay tuned for those two other releases you have coming.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. And actually, I don't know. I don't know. Do you want to see a sneak peek of the packaging? Do you wanna do you want to see it? Let's
If you're
see.
willing.
Let's see what's going on right here. Let's see what's happening. So this is the Unstoppable Costa
Ah, that's
Rican
epic.
blend right there. And this will be the War Inside Us All dark roast.
Oh, wonderful. And do you have a TBD time for when these are going to be released, or are you
Um,
you know exactly when it's to come? Not putting pressure on you to name a timeline, but do
no,
you?
I think next year. I think next year we're gonna do it. I think next year we're gonna get these coffees out there for everybody. And if we get good feedback and people want more, then we'll continue them, and we'll continue making them. And I want to give people things they like. Once we're done releasing all of these songs, we're going to release a vinyl with all of them on there, and some limited runs of CDs. Um, I know people like that. I just don't do that in the beginning. I would rather release all the songs and then get a collection of music, and then at the end release it as a record for people that that really enjoy that.
Well, what would you like to say then to everyone who are fans and supporters of Unveil the Strength?
Well, we get a lot of cool things coming up. Any minute I'm going to find out if we're going to go out on a tour, and that tour is going to be 30 days, and it's going to be Midwest and East Coast. And as soon as I know for sure, I'll post those dates. So please go to unveilthestrength.com and subscribe to our newsletter, and subscribe to our email list, and stay up to date on what we're doing. Come out to see us. Please follow us and support us and like us and all of those great things. And yeah, feel free to comment and say hi anytime. Every time I get to play music, I'm grateful, and I truly mean that. And anytime I get a comment from a fan that says, "Hey, this song did this for me today or made me feel this way," those are the moments I truly live for. And so, thank you.